The man who vanished after one phone call. This case is based on a real disappearance officially recorded in public reports. Daniel Harris was a 32-year-old man living in a small, quiet town in the United States. He worked at a software company, stayed in touch with his family, and had no obvious reason to suddenly disappear. His life was quiet. He wasn't active on social media. He didn't seek attention. To those who knew him, he was simply normal. On the night he disappeared, Daniel had dinner with his sister. They talked about everyday things. There was no argument, nothing unusual. At 9:12 p.m., Daniel sent his sister a text message. "I'll call you tomorrow." 5 minutes later, at 9:17 p.m., his phone rang. To this day, no one knows who made that call. According to apartment security cameras, Daniel stood up shortly after the phone rang. There was no panic, no sense of urgency. He put on his jacket. He slipped his phone into his pocket. He didn't take his wallet. He didn't even lock the door before leaving. That was the last time Daniel was ever seen. The next day, he didn't go to work. His phone was turned off. On the third day, his family reported him missing to the police. When officers searched his apartment, everything was in order. There were no signs of forced entry, no evidence of a struggle. However, they discovered a hidden folder on his computer. The folder had a single word written on it: "Do not open." Inside were documents and identification papers under different names. At least 3 different identities. Daniel Harris was likely not his real name. Further investigation revealed that Daniel had lived under different names in different cities for years. But there was one disturbing detail. None of these identities were connected to any crime. Daniel wasn't running from the law. It seemed like he was hiding from something else. Phone records showed that the call at 9:17 p.m. came from an unregistered, disposable number. The call lasted only 7 seconds. 7 seconds were enough for Daniel to leave everything behind. Weeks later, Daniel's phone was found under a bench near a bus terminal. It was turned off. All data had been completely erased. No fingerprints were found. Daniel Harris was never seen again. And to this day, one question remains unanswered. Who was on the other end of that phone call? And why did Daniel walk away from his life without saying a single word?